There's one section of the population that I want to dive deeper on is Gen Z. And I want to look at it from two different perspectives. So one is from the workforce standpoint, because that is a population that is now getting into some of those decision-making roles. So how do you see them being either advantaged or disadvantaged with AI, so as a part of your workforce? As Gen Z moves into more decision-making roles, how do you see ViewTrade's current and future solutions catering to those AI native decision makers?
Let's first talk about Gen Z and today's. We've seen so much noise, so much reaction around Gen Z being particularly at a disadvantage because entry-level jobs are gone, etc. You have to obviously feel for a young kid who's survived through COVID and this. However, you have to also look at this, that Gen Z has a very big advantage, which most of them are not looking at. And I'm speaking because of our experience now. So all of these guys are digitally native. They know platforms from day one. They have zero tolerance for friction. And they know how to do AI. You don't need an entry-level job anymore. I'll tell you, in my team, we have an intern. He's 16-year-old. He built a trading application using AI. He came to us and he said, I built this application and now I want to learn about this. And we got him in. He's in school. He wanted to do an internship. We got him in. He's not sitting there and thinking, you know what, let me go and complain about big tech. Right. He adopted the technology. He knows what is frictionless. He built an app for Gen Z and Gen X clients. So it is up to you. It is like a tool. You take it, you have an inherent advantage. You understand this next generation that will have access to all this wealth decisioning, etc. And you can build for them. You know their mindset. You are one of them. It's a very big advantage. You have empathy for the target audience. You are way ahead of anybody else who's starting with you. Now, so that's one part of it. That is Gen Z advantaged or disadvantaged? It depends on your mindset, very large extent. I do have sympathy that it's a very big change that they might be facing, but I have seen Gen Z and Gen Alpha folks who are not waiting, and AI gives you the opportunity to not wait. You can go and build now, no inertia needed, right? And I'm seeing people adopt that, so I am bound to believe that will be the dominant trend, that more Gen Zs will not need an entry-level job. They will come in with these skills, etc., that will get them right in the mid layer of everything. Now, having said that, and that brings us to the second question, where Gen Z will have more say in the decisioning in wealth. Before we come to ViewTrade, let's just look at how the industry per se will change. See, Gen Z will be ruthless to anybody who's frictionful. They don't have the patience for it. They've had everything at will, haptic feedback at will, everything at will. That's part one. Two, you will have to align with their outcomes. They will completely destroy you if your business model depends on them losing money or they are not having a good outcome, but you're still making fees. I don't think that will work anymore. Every financial institution, whether it is payments, banks, everyone will have to align so that they get great outcomes also. Remember, great access for Gen Z is no longer a differentiator. They were already born with it. So you cannot be making money while they are having bad outcomes. And three, they don't look at relationships like their parents used to look at. They had a long-term RM. They will be like, yeah, this is our RM, and we trust him. And then that RM moved 6 banks and then 4 independent firms, and you went with that RM. They don't look at loyalty in the same way. So fundamentally, what every financial institution has to ask themselves is, how am I going to realign my business model to great outcomes for my customer, not great access? How am I going to democratize outcomes? And I'll give you an example. After this example, you will understand why outcomes and access are different.
Sure.
BNPL provided great democratization to credit. Everybody was like, nobody can find loans, loan shark, ruin their life. Let's bring in BNPL. Let's give people access to credit. We are enabling entrepreneurs. True. What was the outcome for people? If you look at Thailand, Indonesia, there were independent studies done. People were indebted even more.
Yes, and it's a big conversation here in Thailand.
Yes. Everywhere, right? People took their lives because they couldn't pay. This industry was even more aggressive in collections, etc. So you democratized access, but not a great outcome. That will not work. But that will not work with Gen Z at all. You have to. So every bank, every financial institution has to go back and say, how do we deliver great outcomes for our clients and then make money off it? That has to be whether you're a payments company, a card company, a bank, an investment bank, anybody, you will get paid on great outcomes, period. Now, that was the whole bang. Now, let's bring it back to us.
Sure.
See, we are a B2B provider. We are already aligned with a great outcome for our customer. We don't go and do a B2C business and target the same customer, etc. We're not in that business. Our alignment is with the broker dealer, the fintech, the wealth manager that we work. If they are not successful, we are never successful. That completely changes how you approach these relationships, how fundamentally you build your relationship, you build your tech stack, you build everything. So I cannot take credit for it because this has been done by the founding team and the execs. The business was already like this. We were already getting paid for great outcomes for our customers. It was not like our B2B customer was losing money and we were like, it was making it rain. It was not. So that ViewTrade as a business has a history of delivering great outcomes